Hey everyone, welcome to Shoot On. We've been out in South Dakota for several days now. Got a group of us hunting turkey. Had a great time, but it's time to wrap it up and go home. Now before we do that, we need to clean our guns. At least get the gunk out, the primary gunk out, until we can go home, get on the bench, and really do a deep clean. Now nobody wants to stop and do this, but when you got several different platforms, we were hunting coyotes even. So we've got some rifles, we got some shotguns. We really want to get those things touched up before we hit the road. Now, not a lot of convenience in carrying a bunch of stuff, but Real Avid has come out with what's called the Gun Boss Pro Kit, and it's pretty much covers your primary shotgun and rifle calibers, and it's everything you need. You got your jags, you got your brushes, and for the shotguns you got your mops. And we've also got some of their bore foam. This is a new product for Real Avid. They also got a gun oil. So between all of this, we've got everything we need to at least get our barrels cleaned out, and for guns that are blued, we can go ahead and get a light coating of oil on the barrels, on the actions, and the guns are ready to go home. And then when we get there, then we can do a real good deep cleaning. But anyway, field cleaning is something that a lot of us just forget about. It's not a good idea if you've been out. It's been raining, been snowing, dries up, you start picking up dust. You need to get rid of that stuff. So we're going to show you how to do that real quick. So we're going to start out with the Bore Max. This is a foaming bore cleaner. Now, you're supposed to let this set for 10 minutes after you squirt it into the barrel. But before you do that, you need to run the brush through. So we're going to put a little bit on our brush just to give it some solvent. So we're not running this down a dry barrel. Get a little bit on there, and we'll just run it down the barrel. Make sure you don't get it stuck. That would be a disaster. And be careful when you're going out the breech. You don't want a lot of this fouling to splatter into your receiver area. And just a couple swipes is all you really need. And then we'll take that off. Transition over to put a mop on here, get that ready. Now what we're going to do is just give it the full treatment in the barrel. Notice a lot's going to come out of the muzzle here. So anyway, what's really cool about this thing is it's got a rotating nozzle, so we can stick it in the breech and you just squirt it in short bursts. I'm going to get some paper towels ready because I don't want any of that foam to go back into the receiver area. So we'll go ahead and give that a few short squirts until it starts to come out of the barrel. And that stuff will gradually expand. And when you start seeing it come out, we'll leave it set for about 10 minutes. Okay, we've let the bore foam sit for about 15 minutes, and that's enough time for it to cut the crud. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the choke off, and then we're going to run our bore mop up and down and get a little bit more out, see what's in there. And if we're clean, we'll just give it a little bit of oil, and we'll be good to go on our journey back home. Swipes here, and we'll get we're going to run a patch through here next. Clean patch, put a little bit of oil in it, and we'll see how that is looking. We're going to do a couple of patches here in our loop. Make sure we get the bore covered adequately. Get a couple in there, and since we're running a 12 gauge, let's just go ahead and do one more. Now this kit does come with these patches, and of course you can get replacements from Real Avid. That should do it. Now let's run it up the board and see what it looks like. Get a little bit of oil on there. We'll just run that come down the barrel, twist it around a little bit as you go. All we're wanting to do is get a nice light coating of oil after cleaning, and that'll give us a rust protection until we can get back home and finish up our, give the gun a deep clean. And we're good to go with this gun. Okay, now that we got the barrel cleaned up, we're going to lightly oil up our choke. Just kind of clean up anything that might be on it here. Again, this is just until we can get back home and do a deeper clean, and we'll go ahead and put that in. Then we want to, of course on this gun, we don't have any bluing, so we're just going to clean outside of the bolt handle. A little light oil on there. Get the dust off. Make sure we're cycling good. Things look good inside. And that will take care of that. So the Browning Maxus is ready to go back into the case.